Puff Daddy to me is like a what's them dudes who run the 3-ring circus? The dude that come out and you know what I mean, just the ringmaster. I guess he the ringmaster because you know he do it big and he always put on a show. So Puffy is the ringmaster to hip hop.
I just figured out with the grand jury and their different sessions and stuff like that, and then what one of the witnesses told me, I just figured it out that it was going to be around September that they were going to bring him in, bro. People might not understand. It's difficult when you see a brother that has so much promise become an icon as far as in the music business and stuff that he did, to turn around and just tear his whole life down. But it's all because of his mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business. You know, it's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business, because Puff wasn't he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster.
Ice Cube recently addressed the legal issues surrounding Sean Diddy Combs, particularly in light of Diddy's multiple misconduct allegations and FBI raids on his properties. In interviews, including one on the PBD Podcast, Ice Cube expressed his belief that Diddy is being targeted by powerful individuals, hinting at a larger conspiracy against him.
I mean, surprise. How could you be surprised with anything that happens in hip hop? You know, hip hop is the Wild West. So you're gonna have the good, you're gonna have the bad, you're gonna have the ugly.
You think he's being targeted, or some of the stuff he's got, you know, there's credibility on what they're coming after him with the tapes and the feds and raiding his Miami home, his LA home?
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah. I believe, you know, somebody, you know, has the power to pull the trigger to make, you know, this stuff, this domino effect happen.
Ice Cube has been vocal about his stance on gatekeepers within both the hip-hop industry and other sectors like Hollywood and sports.
Yo, what's cracking? You know what it is. It's your homeboy Ice Cube. And some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. And a lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their fucking club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are. A lot of people would be like, what? Who? Come on, man, stop playing.
He explained that he is not part of the elite club of gatekeepers, which he believes controls opportunities and resources in entertainment.
Ever since I put out the contract with Black America, you know they've been fucking with me. Here and there, this and that. But it's cool, you know. I expect that. You know, I've been working with, you know, on the big three for a long time, and you know how they've been fucking with me with that. I done made it, you know, plain, simple, and clear what they've been doing. You know, the NBA been fucking with us. Now, a lot of people might say, like, well, but Cube, you want to work with the NBA? Really, I don't give a fuck about working with the NBA. What I want them to do, when I say work with us, is to stop working against us. Stop doing that bullshit behind the scenes that we know you're doing. Mainstream media, you know.
Ice Cube has also claimed that there are bigger forces who are controlling Diddy.
You think he's being targeted, so you don't think, Suge said, you can say what you want about Diddy, but Diddy didn't learn to like young boys. He learned it from a man named Clive Davis. He threw Clive Davis in there. It doesn't sound like you're part of that camp. You're part of the camp that you think he's being targeted.
You know, I don't know enough to even be able to be specific on any of this stuff. It's just all speculation. I just know he was cool up until a point, and then this stuff started happening. So I believe somebody, you know, like I said, yo, he's our new guy. We on this.
Diddy was arrested recently in New York following a grand jury indictment. He faces serious charges, including racketeering, trafficking, and transportation to engage in adultery.
Diddy has been arrested in New York City after a grand jury indictment, and we have the breaking news. Though charges in the indictment are unknown, Billboard has confirmed the arrest. The rap mogul has been hit with at least 8 civil lawsuits alleging sexual abuse over the past year. Now, according to TMZ, Diddy was taken into federal custody at the FBI's Manhattan field office. In a statement to Billboard, an attorney for Diddy said, "We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man. He is an imperfect person, but he is not a criminal." We'll keep you posted as the story develops. For everything we know, head to Billboard.com.
These allegations span over a decade, reportedly dating back to 2008. The charges claim that Diddy used his entertainment empire to facilitate and conceal illegal activities for personal gain, including coercing and trafficking individuals for intimate activities.
They say this: for decades, Sean Combs, the defendant, abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. To do so, Combs relied on the employees, resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice here.
Similar claims were made by young rappers like Usher and Nipsey before the investigation even started. They claimed to be a victim at Diddy's infamous flavor camp.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really.
Come on.
But hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And what kind, do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
I brought the album to Puff when it was pretty much done. Just got his feedback, played it top to bottom, just wanted to see what he thought. And he was like, it's room on these records to continue to produce. We had a good convo. He like, Nip, you got potentially a classic album, and it's things we could do to really push it over that limit. I respect Puff as a producer, as well as all the other hats he wear, but I think one of his most valuable contributions to hip-hop culture has been as a producer.
Yeah.
Where you say you from? You say you from Crenshaw?
I'm from Rolling 60s. But that's
What's Crenshaw then?
that's the street.
That's not where you from.
Yeah, I'm from. It depends who I'm talking to. Like if I'm describing my geography, I'm gonna say I'm from the Crenshaw district. But if I'm talking to a LA nigga, I'm gonna be like I'm from the 60s. So it's like if you from New York, you might tell a nigga you from the East Side. But if you ain't from New York, you gonna be like I'm from Harlem, right? I would assume. Or you be like I'm from.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's New York lingo, and then it's like niggas that don't know the lingo. So niggas that know the lingo, I'm gonna sound from 60s. But if you don't know the LA lingo, I'm gonna be like, I'm from west side of the Crenshaw district, South Central LA. That's what you gonna know.
Yo, if they talking about some homosexuality and it's about Diddy, it may be true. Cause he tried me. That's what he said. That's what Columbus Shaw said. He tried me. And you notice the guys that don't fall for that shit, they not popping in the industry, they not working, they not going to Hollywood, they not doing it, because it's people like him that they cut short. Like Cat Williams said, when they don't give up their booty hole, they don't give up that sexuality, they cut them short. That means they're not working in the industry like that no more.
The indictment remains sealed, but it is believed to be connected to a federal investigation into his alleged involvement in trafficking, which had led to earlier raids on his properties. Diddy has maintained his innocence, with his legal team calling the prosecution unjust. He was denied bail due to concerns about him being a flight risk.
Well, it looks like Sean Diddy Combs is going to have to stew in jail as he awaits a sex trafficking trial. A judge refusing to grant him bail. I'm just saying that there is a great risk he could try to leave the country. That is not going to.
His indictment, which points to a criminal enterprise involving the trafficking of women over several years, has raised concerns among other high-profile figures, as it's unclear who else may be implicated as the investigation unfolds.
Hollywood is scared now. He brings in a reporter from ET to discuss this and talking about how there are levels to this and other people that Hollywood is silent because they can be implicated into what's going on. Not only that, but it gets into the Jeffrey Epstein angle and how Diddy may end up being Epsteined, because we already know he has evidence, or it's alleged he has evidence on all these different people within Hollywood, the music industry, and business executives who have participated in these things with him that he's used as blackmail. Now, that's all allegedly, but this reporter is going to confirm and talk about how Hollywood...
There is growing anxiety in Hollywood circles, as Diddy's arrest may lead to more names surfacing in connection with his alleged activities.
And I hate to bring up this name, but it is apropos in this particular situation. Remember what Suge Knight said? Y'all remember that? When Suge Knight said he was in a world of trouble? Because Suge Knight said, listen, he knows a lot. And so you're looking at a potential situation where it could arguably mirror that of Jeffrey Epstein. Remember him? August 10th, 2019. Prison guards found, I'm reading right from online. Guards found American financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein unresponsive in his jail cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City, where he was awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. Tried to perform CPR, couldn't resuscitate him, pronounced dead at a downtown hospital at 6:39 a.m. What it went on to say in the reports that there were violations because normal jail procedures on the night of Epstein's death wasn't followed. It talked about a malfunction of 2 cameras in front of his cell. And you got people still to this very day with their conspiracy theories being thrown out there that it wasn't suicide, but ultimately intentional harm was brought to him because he knew too much about too many people. That's what Suge Knight alluded to when he was talking about P. Diddy. And as we sit here today, who the hell can deny that potential reality? Do we know? No.
Many individuals who attended his parties are now particularly worried about the potential implications of these allegations.
A lot of people in Hollywood were probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved in any of the things that are alleged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And certainly if you were involved, you would get a call because they're going to want to know everything you want to know and may even want you to be a witness. I just think, we're just starting to scratch the surface of what this case, this case is going to touch and involve. And the feds have said that this remains an open investigation. There could be more charges for Diddy. There could be more charges for other people involved. And usually the way this works is once they find out other people are involved or were witnesses, they bring them in and they sort of lean on them, and it's sort of like, you're going to cooperate with us, or there's a possibility that you could face charges. So this is going to be a slow developing a case here because we're just getting started, and I don't see how this trial begins anytime before next year.
During a raid on Diddy's Miami mansion, federal agents found hidden cameras strategically placed throughout the property.
I have learned from sources that investigators have found several weapons inside his homes. Several. They also have found videos. It's been reported that Diddy has collected images of people in compromising situations at his residences. TMZ now obtained this video inside his home in Los Angeles after the raid by federal agents. It's reported that Diddy is the target of a sex trafficking investigation that comes after he was hit with a wave of civil lawsuits alleging sexual assault and trafficking. I've also learned exclusively that Diddy is in Miami. Authorities know exactly where he is. They've been in touch with his legal team. Sources tell me he's trying to avoid the paparazzi, and they're telling me he will not be arrested soon.
These cameras were reportedly used to secretly record activities at the parties without the knowledge or consent of the attendees. The footage captured by these cameras is believed to be crucial evidence in the ongoing investigation.
So you know Diddy, right?
Yes.
In what way?
Back in the 90s, I was assigned to the NYPD. I was the hip-hop cop back then, so I had to assist in arresting him in several instances where there were some crimes committed.
What were those arrests for?
One was the Club New York shooting. He was with J-Lo at the time, and the other one was the Steve Stout assault that happened with MTV.
Diddy Combs' personal bodyguard Gina Deal has also made claims about the existence of secret cameras at Diddy's parties. In various interviews, Deal has revealed that Diddy used these hidden cameras to record activities at his parties without the knowledge of the attendees.
And he feels like Diddy is using all that footage for blackmail.
Probably so. I could believe that. I believe it's a lot of rappers, a lot of music people, a lot of executives that could not say no. Cat Williams say, you just got to say no to Diddy. And it's a lot of people that couldn't say no. And they probably on tape because they couldn't say no.
So you think it's possible that Diddy, he got footage of rappers in the stash, just in case he got to use it for blackmail?
It's a possibility. It's not far-fetched. If he was taping Cassie and he was having Cassie taped and everything like that, why wouldn't he do nobody else? She's the only one.
These recordings allegedly captured compromising footage of high-profile individuals, which could be used to leverage or blackmail them.
Perhaps most crucial, though, in the lawsuit is that, unbeknownst to Lucien, Diddy also has a ton of hidden cameras all throughout his house, including in his bedroom, which would perhaps suggest that the blackmail runs both ways. Maybe he also has blackmail on Lucien Grange. Again, I don't know. I'm just telling you what's in this lawsuit and what we can derive from it if these allegations are true. And again, the fact that there are so many photos in this document at least proves that he does have evidence of some sort.
Following Diddy's recent arrest, several celebrities have been mentioned in connection with his case. However, Beyoncé and Jay-Z have not been specifically named. In the court filings or news reports, they are speculated to be directly related to the allegations against Diddy.
Beyoncé is allegedly running and hiding with the kids after Diddy's lawsuits continue to mount and her time is limited, because many people are saying that her husband Jay-Z is next. So Queen Bey gave Jay the impression she was going to be there for him through thick and and thin after surviving multiple affairs. But she had to call it quits as Jay is allegedly facing prison time after his alleged involvement with his best friend Diddy in trafficking. Bey is allegedly separating her assets with Jay to protect her brand after allegedly secretly filing for divorce from him back in June. Bey and Jay knew about Diddy's wrongdoings, so they could be considered accessories to the crime, and some are saying they might be a little more involved with the Colombian dancing powder than we originally thought. Bey specifically might be investigated after it was speculated across the internet that she may have allegedly deleted her competition and may have allegedly had Jay's mistress Kathy White murked. This is why Bey is releasing albums and going on concert, because she's trying to stack that paper before the charges rain down.
Hey, Hove, before I dropped this song, we had a talk, and that inspired me a lot, so.
Jay-Z?
Yeah.
I just love how you just threw that out there, like, yeah, Hove.
Nah, facts. That would be the.
What did the talk
definitely the
entail?
other person. You said what?
What was the talk about?
Talk was definitely worth the money. You know how they was like, yo, would you take the talk or the money? It was definitely worth it. He was just saying, you know, like, to believe in yourself and just always, like, follow, like, what's in your heart. Like, not what no one else is saying or anything. Just do what's in your heart.
So your advice would be, say no to the 500 grand and take the dinner with Hove.
Definitely take the dinner with Hove.
Do you think so?
For sure.
People are scared to be found at Diddy's private events because the recent raids have revealed some disturbing findings. Federal authorities discovered weapons, ammunition, illegal substances, and large amounts of baby oil. These items are allegedly linked to violent events referred to as private parties.
There are a lot of wild allegations in those documents that came out yesterday, including 1,000 bottles of baby oil. What surprised you the most about what you read yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, that, Brian, was was definitely an alarming graph of the indictment when you read that when they raided, I believe it was the Miami home where they found 1,000 bottles of, and they said that these were items that were used at the freak-offs. There were also large amounts of drugs, they said, cocaine, ketamine, Molly, GHB, the drug. So, you know, they said that the house, according to the feds, that was stocked for these parties that were going on. And then to read their description of how Diddy, as they say, lured women into joining these parties. And they say that he would meet them or lure them, get to know them and lure them in thinking they would think that there was going to be a romantic relationship with him. And then it would turn out that they would be at these freak-offs where they would be forced to have, or drugged and forced to have sex with male that he was bringing in. And
However, it's interesting to hear different perspectives on Diddy's situation. Gene Deal suggested that Diddy was influenced by his mentors and the environment around him.
From the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do, you understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do without, and you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be at. You got to have principles, you got to have morals, you got to keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him. To keep it frank, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him. And it is what it is. You gotta know better. And if you know better, you will do better. When he was in New York City, he was like that Gecko from the Geico commercial. Then he turned and started going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he using drugs. He was never like that. Smoking cigarettes.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.